welcome to John's Balloted Adventures. In this case, this evening, you know perfectly well, it's a guest interview time. And today, I got a really good mate of mine, Brian Day from Braintree Metal Detecting Club, Open Rallies. Boy, does he find some stuff in that area. Absolutely awesome history. Hard-working chap. Puts a load of digs on for groups and helps people to relax and find artifacts in some fantastic countryside. Let's bring him on and tell us all about it. Come on, Bri. Hiya, Bri! Hey!
John, how are you?
Yeah, brilliant, pal. Now then, what's your first machine you had, Bri? Come on, tell us.
Oh, God, you're going back when God was a baby. That was a Garrett, I think it was an Ace 100 or a Garrett 100, going back a lot of years, back to the 70s. It found stuff, don't get me wrong, it found stuff. It was a lovely little machine, cheap. Well, in them days, it weren't cheap, but compared with today, it's cheap, you know. Then I moved on to a Garrett Ace 250. Then since then I've had Noxes, I've got an AT Pro here behind me. I've got my favourite, which is the Deus, which is
the Deus. Is that the Deus too?
No, I can't. No, I'm actually I can't afford it. It's the fact that they're so new. I want to see how they go on before I buy one. Because if I turn around and buy one and I don't like it, I've wasted a lot of money.
Yeah, so, they're quite expensive.
I think, well, 1,600 quid, you hear different prices, don't you? And it's a case of that, let's see how they do first. I mean, it's all right, Deus saying they're good. I mean, great friend of mine, Adrian Geiler, has done a write-up on them for Treasure Hunting magazine, which is their local magazine around this way. As I say, he did a write-up on him. I had a word with him because he comes to all my club meetings. And I said to him, what do you reckon? It's just a damn good machine, you know, it's a good machine. He says, the beauty of it is it's totally waterproof, so you can go in rivers and streams with it. He said, but it's also a grand machine on the old wet dirt, you know, and round here we get enough of that, I'll tell you. But it's, you know, at the moment I'm using a Deus.
Yeah, that's your favourite one, isn't it?
That's the one. It's lightweight. I've got arthritis in my hands and my elbows and my knees and my hips and you name it. If it's got a joint, I've got pain in it. But it's like everything else. You take these things. You have to get, as you get older, you expect these things to happen.
You just get through it, don't you?
That's right. You've probably got the same, John. You know.
Oh yes.
Oh no! Tell us about it. As I said, I was
smile through it, Brian.
Yeah, I was out detecting with a friend of mine a few months ago, so I haven't been recently. And she said to me, do you want a hand up, Brian? I was down on my knees digging a coin up. And she turned around and I said, I wouldn't say no, actually. Come over and give me a hand up. I was in such a position, I couldn't bloody move my feet. And it was that wet, it was clogged up everywhere. But no, as I say, we turn around and we manage like everybody does, you know. Well, we try our best. That's all you can say.
Well, give us an idea where you are, and I'm sure everybody wants to know exactly where you are. I know sort of Braintree gives it away, but roughly what county is it?
I live in a little village outside of Braintree, very posh. We got some money to live here, so they tell me. I don't know how I got here. I don't. I'm broke. No, it's a little village called Cressing, Cressing, just outside of Braintree on the Whittam Road. Whittam's the next big town to Braintree. What it is me and my wife, we downsized from a large bungalow down to a small one, only a 2-bedroom place. I've got my office here, as you can see. You know, it's I'm in here most of the day. If I'm not,
I think we can call it the man cave there, mate.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, but
well, what kind of history is sort of prevalent around your area then?
Well, we were covered with a lot of World War II bomber bases. From here, and we've dug quite a few of them. And what we actually do is through some colleagues in the metal detecting game out in Germany, we repatriate the dog tags we find from the airmen.
Oh, that's interesting.
Right, we send them to Germany. He then investigates them, finds the people or the relatives alive in America. Wow. and we contact them, and they're sent back to them.
That's
So
nice.
they turn around and they get their granddad's or great granddad's dog tag that was left or lost when he was killed or when he was on the base anyway.
Yeah.
And we've just did one at a place called Pickett's Farm. It was a World War II Andrews Field. It was called during World War II bomber base, and loads of bits have come off there from officers' bars, they had them on the collars and all the rest of it.
Yes.
Shirt buttons and dog tags and heaps of 50 cal shells, heaps and heaps of them. And we don't take them off the field. We make sure they're left on the field. We chuck them in the ditch because I don't know if you know, a lot of these are still live. And if they're incendiary, they will, if you chucked one in a fire, it could blow that. Well, it would blow the fireplace out, and it'll take the windows out as well.
Oh, I see.
As well, they're that bloody dangerous.
Wow.
But anyway, we do is don't take those off the field. We leave them on. We've got quite a bit of them sorts of places. We do 2 or 3 bomber bases. It's all arable land now. This is the trouble with this time of year for us. It is a downtime. Because up your way, you've got loads of grassland. We haven't got it round this way. So you got the odd farm that runs a few sheep, so that's grassland. Yes. But he don't want you on there digging his grassland up. Well, he's got his sheep on there trying to fatten them up. It's the old story. So, and the rest of it is arable. Well, when it's arable, it's under bloody crop, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. And then you'd have to wait then, don't you, for when they cut it and
you've got to wait
whatever they do with it.
When harvest comes, you've got to get around to see all the farmers you can as quick as possible. But you can only put digs on. I put them on 3 times a week in harvest time. I put them one on a Wednesday for the pensioners, what we call the pensioners and the people out of work. So as I say, we turn around and go around and see the farmers. And during the week, I put digs on a Wednesday for the retired people that are in my club, and also people that are out of work. And what I have a thing to do is, if they're retired, they pay a reduced fee. If they're out of work, if I know they're out of work and they bring me the paperwork to say they are, they dig free of charge.
Oh, that's good.
Well,
so you set up all the hard work, into. I mean, just mention the group again. I know it. Go, just mention it. It's
Braintree Metal Detecting Club. Our website is www.braintreemdc.co.uk. If you go on there, you'll see some of the finds: gold rings, gold coins, silver hammers, you name it. We found loads and loads of them. It's scrolling round all the time as you're looking at the pictures on the front when you first go on there, and they're finds that we've actually made that have been made in the Essex area. Then of course you've got the other bit, tells you how I started the club, and tells you all about that, where I wrote to and rung up every single metal detecting club and said to them I want to join, and nobody answered. They just totally ignored me.
When did you start it up then, Brian?
Oh, bloody hell, 5 years ago now.
And how many people come on your digs then? Roughly.
Well, I've had digs with 7 people on it. I've had digs with 130 on it. So, it depends on what it is, where it is. I mean, I'd have liked to have been having one for the Queen's Jubilee, but there's nowhere to go.
Nowhere to go. Oh, I see.
The trouble is round here, it's all set. All the corn is about this high now, and they don't want you on there. No. And the fields, a lot of them, the farmers are keeping fields for hay, so they don't want you digging all their hay up, so they won't let you on there. So what we do is we just have to bite a lip, grin and bear it, and wait till later on, But talking about the club, what I was saying was nobody had let me into their club. I emailed them, wrote to them, tried to ring them up. I got through to one, and one guy said to me, he said, yes. He didn't say, hello, it's so-and-so. He just said, yes. I went, is this so-and-so metal detecting club? He went, oh, yeah. I said, are you taking members? Oh, no, we ain't taking any members. He said, it'll be September. I said, and before I could say what year it was, he slammed my phone down on me. So I thought, oh, nice. So I said, okay, you want to play that way? I'll start my own club up.
Oh, so that's how it happened then.
So that's how they started it. They frightened of a point in my life, and I ain't going to start now.
But you set it up also to help people. Did you not? That
What
you know,
I've-
outside the area, into normal.
What I've done is I started up a group on Facebook called One Day Digs. One as in not the figure one, but ONE. One Day Digs on Facebook. And what I do is I go around and I'll hire the field from a farmer for 1 day. That's all, 1 day. I'll pay him good money for it, which helps go towards his holiday fund or whatever he wants to put it to. As I say, all he's got to do is say yes and then sit back and get paid. And I organise everything, including the signage off the roads. I have people parking the cars. I have a portable toilet on site. We have a separate ladies' toilet on site. So that if ladies do get caught short, they can go on there. And it's all sanitised and looked after by my good lady.
It's well organised.
Well, we try to organise it to the best we can. We've got a gazebo we put up in the summertime. We've got tea and coffee running all day long. And sometimes if I'm twisted, my arm is twisted and I ain't got a lot to do, I'll take a little portable Barbie and we'll have a barbecue at the same time,
Have you got some? Can you show us some of the cards and things that just to show what you actually put together on your digs there, Brian? Clear as possible with signs and that, and you can't believe how much money all these things cost for the digs to sort out, isn't it, right, Brian?
Oh God, isn't it? Well, yeah. Well, this is what you get when you remember. You get the car pass sent to you. There it is, Braintree MDC. That goes in the windscreen of your car. This is the size of a tax disc. It's my 1 day digs card.
I
don't know if you can
very
see
flash.
It. 1
That's
day
great,
digs. And if you read down the bottom, it says just sit back and get paid. And on the back of it, of course, is my
all your details about you, so they know it's you. This is what you're all about. So this goes to the farmer then.
These are all given to the farmer, and there's the actual membership card. When it's filled in properly, you get your membership. Sorry, I ain't used to it.
Yeah. That's it. Perfect. So that's your membership
name,
card.
Date you joined, the membership number, and on the back you've got one of them new Q codes. Come back a bit.
Oh yeah, got it. Yeah. So we know.
Picture of a groat of Henry VIII on it, which Adrian Geiler found. Actually, it's one of his coins, and that's that. It's took a lot of years and a big learning circle to get where we are now. And a lot of expense as well. I mean,
expense and a lot of hard work. So give us an idea of the hard work that you put into this.
The hard work is I'm out every day of the week, from 9 in the morning till probably 3, 4, 5 in the afternoon, seeing farmers. I take Julian Evanart with me because he's stuck at home. He doesn't drive really, and
I just mentioned who he is.
He's
this is Julian
of Treasure Hunting magazine.
He's the editor.
Yeah, he's the editor. Julian Evanart of Treasure Hunting magazine.
Yeah, he's your best pal.
He's my best. Yeah, one of my mates. In fact, that's his missus on the front cover there.
Oh, is it?
That's Lisa.
Oh, yeah. Well done.
And as I say, and his write-ups and what have you all the way through here. Well, you've had stories published for him. So as I say, I know that you turn around and do it. But talking about hard work, in diesel alone, I think I do probably $5,000 a year in diesel. Just driving about, seeing farmers. I take Julian with me because he can still do his answering his phone and all the rest of it while we're out, and seeing the farmers, and he likes to see the fields as well. We've got a big farm coming up with a lot of digs are going to be on there as soon as harvest time starts, and it's near Colchester. Colchester was a big Roman city. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Well, we've got land literally a mile from Colchester Castle.
Oh, blimey.
And this owned by this farmer. I think there's 11,000 acres there. We've got the lot because I said I'll haul the whole bloody farm off of him. See, again, years ago, things have changed. We used to have a contract with the farmers where we rented their farm and all their land for a year.
Yeah.
We give them a lot of money for it. But then you got people saying, farmers are saying, oh, yeah, I know you have, Bron, but can't you give me a little bit extra for myself? So they wanted 30 year, 50 there, 60 year to turn around and, in their pocket while we got the dig on that day. And I said, well, I said to one farmer, I said, what's the point of me giving you money? I said, because you keep sticking your hand out, give me more and more money, and I'm getting nothing.
I mean, you can only get so much out of the dig, can't you, really?
Well,
and you've got your expense to take out of it, which is,
the golden goose can only go so far. I said, if I'm not getting the money in through the digs, I can't pay it out to you.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've had people come into my club as members and say to me, where's the money going? In your pocket, I suppose. No, it don't actually. It goes, because I run my club like a business. We've got books, we've got everything. Well, you've seen them, I've showed you.
Oh, yeah.
Well, run it like a business. So that anybody comes to me and says to me, Mr. Day, I'm the tax man, I want to see your books. There they are.
And they're all sorted done.
Help yourself.
Yeah.
If I owe you any tax, please tell me, I'll pay straight away. And, it's got to the stage where people are saying, well, where's the money gone? Well, I put a raffle on. You know what that is? Have you seen that book? Coins Identified.
No.
It's a massive book. Greenlight Publishing again. And I mean, it's hand drawn. These are just some of the buckles and all the rest of it in there.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic, isn't it?
Scrap ends.
That's what you need to identify your stuff,
if you're going to identify your stuff, you've got to have the means to do it. Here, Roman brooches. Look.
Oh, brilliant, mate. What a book. What a book.
All drawn to scale. Well,
Brilliant.
This book's £60. I raffle that off to my club members for £2. I'm not joking. We put a raffle on. We'll have anything up to 30 prizes. I try to make sure everybody gets a prize. And when we have a meeting on the first Wednesday of every month, we always put a raffle on. You can win knee pads. I mean, this raffle coming up for the 1st of June, which is Wednesday, is there's diggers. I mean, talking about spades, diggers to win. There's knee pads to win. There's what do you call it? These cleaning pencils.
Oh yeah, coin cleaning. Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't know what the terminology for them, but they help you to clean the crud off the coins, don't they? Because I've got one.
Yeah, well, I think everybody has. There's one in. There's one in. Still in the paper it comes in.
Yeah. So that's
it's a coin cleaning pencil, so you can ring them. You can win the wax, which is the preserving wax.
Yeah, preserving some of your copper coins and bronze artifacts.
Try it that way.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, got one of them.
That you can win that. All of that you can win £2.
Oh, that's great, isn't it? It's great.
Books. I go down to Greenlight Publishing. I've been already for this month because Dan, who owns Greenlight, is away in Holland. So anyway,
can we talk about some of the history that you found then, right? Some of the artifacts and stuff that you found with the group. Yeah, the group's found.
This is a true story. I got a farm, all grassland. It was sheep farm. Farmer and his wife, nice enough people, I thought at the time, and I took a Polish guy with me to test the fields. I thought, well, I've heard this before. It's never been detected and all the rest of it. I'm sorry, but I've not got a lot of faith in people telling me the truth when it comes to metal detecting. And anyway, they turned around and they said, the farmer and his farmer said, oh, no, we've never had anybody on here. And then I found out from somebody local that there were 3 or 4 blokes been over it half a dozen times. So I thought, well, I'll go with this guy. He was between jobs. Nice guy, Polish guy called Thomas. And he turned around and I took him with me to this farm. I said, come on, Thomas, let's do this bit. We had the River Bure running right the way through the property.
Nice.
Which is an old Roman river, the Bure. Anyway, I was down there. I found a few crusty Roman coins on the banks of the river. All of a sudden, I would see Thomas jumping up and down like an idiot. I thought he was having a bloody heart attack. And so I rushed over and said, "What's the matter?" He said, Brian, have a look at this. Have a look at this. And looking down in this hole in this dirt was this gold ring. And I thought, bloody hell. I picked it out, went down to the river, got my boots on, so I'm in up to my knees in the river, washing it off. And it got a taglio in it. You know what a taglio is, don't you?
Yeah.
A taglio of Emperor Hadrian with his spiky crown, you know.
Yeah.
You can always tell him because he's always got a spiky crown. Anyway, he turned around and I said, well, we've got to declare this. So I told the farmer, I said to him, look, we found a gold ring. It's got to go to the local flow. Well, I don't use the local flow because I don't like her. She's left now, got promoted to Scotland. Anyway, she left the trade altogether. She's not in it now. So I've heard, thank heaven, it's the best thing that happened to her. But I couldn't get on with the woman. So I used the British Museum, and I've got some contacts up there. If I got to London, I pop in and see one of the ladies that's at the top of archaeology there. And we get on, me and her get on like a bloody house on fire.
That's good.
And she's a really nice woman, and she knows her stuff, which is more than the predecessor at Colchester did. And I said, well, anyway, told him I'm going back to the farm. I said to him, I'm going to have to tell the thing. We sort of send it, rung him up, spoke to her, said, recorded delivery, small box coming in with a gold ring in. I said, I think it is Emperor Hadrian on the taglio. I said, the weight of it is not a lot, though, not a lot of weight. She said, well, some Roman rings weren't because they were made on the cheap. They looked good, but they were actually made hollow. Now, I didn't know this. I thought the Romans always made their stuff
solid.
Solid, you know, what they made the coins solid. But then we found out they don't do that. Also, they add other metals in with the gold coins to make them feel heavier. Anyway, cut a long story short, I says, sends it off. She emailed me, yeah, got it, Brian. Thank you very much. Be back to you when I know. 2 years went past. So the farmer's ringing me up. Hey, heard anything? He rings me up one day. He says, hey, heard anything more about that ring you found on my land? I said, I haven't heard anything. I said, I'll make some inquiries. So I rings up my lady in London. And she says, it's about to go up in front of the board, because they have a board that decides whether it's treasure trove or whether it's whatever it is. And that's happening the end of this week. I thought, at long last, 2 years later. So anyway, turns around and gets up there. Well, they British Museum didn't want it. They asked all the other museums, including Colchester, which is the local one for where it had been found. They didn't want it. Nobody wanted it. This is poor little lonely gold ring. So what they did, they sent it back to Thomas. Well, Thomas got it back, and he sent me. I said, well, the farmer's on about, you know, he wants to know what's happened about the ring. And of course, he's sticking his hand out for some dilly. And I says to him, I says, well, what do you want to do, Thomas? I said, do you want to buy it? I said, you're going to have to give the farmer half if you do. He said, well, what's it valued at? I said, don't ask me. I ain't no bloody antiques merchant. I said, I turn around and I can tell you what something is and what the value of it is. I said, its value is what somebody will pay for it. You know, that's the way I look at it. 3 people, and I looked in every book I've got, you know, identifying gold rings and all the rest of it. And so I looked at auction catalogues, and some of them were going for 500, 1,000, 1,200, 1,500. Some were making 30,000. I thought, well, I don't know what the hell to do.
No, you don't know what to do with that, do you?
I chose around and I said to Thomas, I said, well, I said, a spot value. I said, compared with the others that have been sold that are similar to it, but nothing exactly like it, I said, I would say 12 to 1,500 quid. So that means you've got to find between 6 and 800 quid, 6 and 700 quid. And he said, I'll have a word with the wife, see what she says. So anyway, a couple of days went past. He come back to me. He said, the most I can afford. Now, this bloke is working 3 jobs just to keep the roof over his head for his wife, the kid, and his kids. You know, he had 2 children. So he's working 3 jobs. And he said, I can't get any time off, but you'll have to do the deal for me, Brian. Please try and do something so I get it and the farmer don't. So I goes to see the farmer. It would do, as it worked out, that my permission for renting his land for a year was due that weekend. So I grabbed some money out of the bank, several hundreds of pounds, goes up there, sees the farmer, him and his wife sat round the table, they sat there with a cup of tea. Anyway, cut a long story short, sit there and I said to him, well, I said, it's like this. I said, I can't find anything like it anywhere. I'll put it out to everybody else. Nobody seems to know. I said, it could be 300 quid. I said, I don't think it'll be in the tens of thousands. I said, you feel the weight of it. So I've got the ring with me and I give him it. And he said, oh, buggy. He said, it don't weigh nothing, does it? I said, no. I said, but my man, I said, he'll offer you £600 in cash. And he looked at his missus and she looked back at him. He said, well, he said, that'll pay for that load of hay I just bought in, won't it? So are you in agreement? He said, yeah. So I handed Thomas's money over to him, plus another load of money. So he drew nearly
for the
permission
next
to go.
year permission, yes.
Yeah, he drew nearly 2K. And anyway, I turned around and I said to him, I said, well, are you happy? Yeah. He said, that'll do lovely, Brian. He said, we've got something for nothing. I ain't worried. He says, okay. So off I goes. And we had another one dig on there when we had a few people turn up, but nothing special. And, I said to him, that's it. Well, I was at home one day and I got a text message off of him. And all it said was, what do you know of this? And it was a picture of this ring in an antiques magazine, where apparently it had gone up to auction on, you've heard of timeline auctions?
No, but...
Well, timeline auctions, if you get Treasure Hunting magazine...
Oh, it's in there then?
It's in Treasure Hunting, and these
are
auction costs... I can't see, Neil. Oh. These are the auction costs of what things have made.
Oh, yes.
In the auctions,
Oh, I see.
Different bits and pieces. And it's
all right, done, I got you now.
It's all done by timeline auctions.
Oh, I see. Well, that's interesting.
Timeline auctions are a local Essex, Cambridgeshire company. Well, somebody had bought this ring. Now, hang on, I'll tell you what happened. So I paid for the ring for Thomas, brought the ring back, gave it to Thomas, and I still got a photograph of him actually sitting there like a dog with two of them, turning around and so pleased you wouldn't believe it. And his wife standing there with a big grin all over her face. And she turned around and she said, and I said to her, there, mate, there's your ring. I said, I've done my best for you. This is for you. And he gave me 50 quid. So I said, well, thank you very much, mate. But I said, you needn't have done that. No, you take it. He says, you take it. He said, you've done us a favour. It's okay. So I took the 50 quid. It's only come about a year later, he rings me up and says, Brian, he says, I'm very unhappy. I said, well, what is this? He says, I've got to sell the ring. He said, my wife is expecting third baby. I said, well, the only guy I know is a guy I use in Peterborough who's an antiques dealer, and he buys metal detecting finds, Celtic stuff he loves, Roman if it's gold, and Roman if it's gold and whatever. So I rang him up and spoke to him, and he came down to Thomas's. They made it a deal, so he was happy. He got a big load of money for it. My mate took it away, come round to mine for a cup of tea before he went. Okay, so off he went. About 2 years went past, and of course COVID come along. So COVID messed everything up for everybody, as you know, John. And I turned around, it stopped us metal detecting, like somebody dropped a hammer on us. It was Christmas time. He hadn't done no business and all the rest of it. He said, I've got to sell some of my stuff. He said, are you interested? He offered the ring back to me. I said, you can't be joking. And he wanted 5K for it.
I bet he did.
So I turned around and I said to him, I can't bloody afford that 5K. I ain't got 5K. What are you talking about? Not that I can liquidate instantly. And he said, well, you can have it and pay me later. I said, no. I said, I don't really want it. So anyway, he offered it to 2 or 3 other dealers who didn't want it. And then he had an offer from a guy I don't know of the man. I've heard of him in the trade. He's got a good name and a bad name, depending on who you speak to. And anyway, he bought it off of him for 5,000 quid. Well, nothing was heard about it then for another 12 months. And then all of a sudden, it came up on Timeline Auctions with a reserve of 16,000 on it.
Wow.
When it went into the auction, there was 2 Yanks started bidding on it. It
Oh, well.
£57,000.
Bloody
So I came around and I didn't know about all this. I'm just
No.
toodling along, doing my own thing, finding metal detecting fields and doing metal detecting and all the rest of it. And that's when I get this message from the farmer. What do you know about this? So I read it and I turned around and I text back. I know nothing about it. It's nothing to do with me. He texts back, I think it is. He said, I think you valued that purposely low. I went, well, I valued what? I said, nobody knew what it was worth. I said, it could have been a 300 quid ring. It could have been a £1,500 ring. But nothing over that, as far as we were concerned, and all the books that we could find.
Yeah, well, yeah, I agree with you.
And you were told, I said to him at the time, the same as what I've just told you, that there was no reference to it, so we're guessing at the cost of it. Now, when you go to auction, John, as you know, it's only worth what the people will bid for.
Hey, yeah, well, that's true. That's true.
Now, you get 2 millionaire Americans at loggerheads over this bloody ring, and the price went through the roof.
That's what happened.
And that's what happened. So this farmer says to me, he says, oh, where's my lump? I said, hang on a minute. You've been paid. You've been paid nearly 3 years ago. You spent the money. Don't come back for any more. There ain't no money here from me. I ain't got bugger all. And I never made bugger all out of it. And he said to me, he says, oh, we'll see about that. I'm going to see a solicitor. You've embezzled me and what have you. And I said, oh, get on with it. Do what you like. So anyway, what does he do? His wife rings up the rural crimes officer from the police. You know, if you get your tractor nicked, they send this geezer out to see if they can find out where it is. Rural crimes officer.
Yeah, I see.
And he rings me up out of the blue. Hello, Mr. Day. I understand you sold a ring. I said, I haven't sold anything, mate. I don't own anything like that. What are you on about? Are you on about the ring that was found on so-and-so farm, the farmer, Mr. So-and-so, and his wife, Mrs. So-and-so? Yes, they've reported you as being an embezzler. I went, what? I've had nothing to do with it. I said, all I did was took a message from Mr. John Smith there and give it to Mr. John Jones there. I said, that's all I've done. I've been the middleman. I've earned no money out of it, nothing at all. And why are you investigating me? Well, we have to be seen to do our job, he said. Where'd you get my number? I said, I know, they gave you it, didn't they? Yeah. I'm nothing to do with it. If you want to see anything about it, go and see Timeline Auctions that sold it. They'll tell you who sold it and who bought it and all the rest of it. You deal with them, pal. So what I found out through the network of old boys and all the rest of it, and people you know, I found out that this guy that bought the ring off my mate, who paid him $5,000 for it, did a load of research on it. And apparently he thinks it's in a painting of a lord at Headingham Castle, which is just up the road from us. Well,
that's why it's gone up.
Supposed to be wearing this ring in a painting. Now, whether it's right or not, plus he added the bit that Timeline said online when they were doing it, was the fact the only person at that time that would have had enough money to own a ring like that was the skeezer from Headingham Castle. I can't remember what his name is, Mr. Delore or some. I turned around and found out that they investigated me. They know I'm a firearms holder. They know that I'm a shotgun holder. They know I'm a big shooting man, or used to be. They know that I know everybody, including the chief constable. And in the end, I had a word with the chief constable, rung him up, went round to see him. Said they're interfering in private lives. I said, all I do is metal detecting nowadays. I don't do anything else. I said, I've retired from my business. I was a plumber and I had my own firm in London. I retired from that. I said, and now my time is set metal detecting. His words to me were, I'll have a word. Thank you, Brian, for bringing it up. He said, and, you know, I won't say what organisation we were both in together, but we were. And I turned around and I said to him, thank you very much, and left. Well, this farmer and his wife, it weren't the farmer, it was his wife. Oh, she's a nasty one, that one. Talk about revenge of a woman that's been offended. She tried everything. She buys hay off of this geezer up the road from her, another little farm, a little tin pot farm, was an old council farm, but it's still falling down. The sheds are falling down and all the rest of it. But what he don't know about metal detecting is unbelievable. He stood up as her white knight on every Facebook page I was on, run me down like you
he
wouldn't.
discredited you on Facebook with so many different organisations
So
and
much
farmers.
so,
And,
I've still got the printed matter. I've got sheets of it back here, what he said, who he said it to. And I reported it to the police for trolling me on the internet. Well, Essex don't have a police section for trolling on the internet. Surrey do. So I rang up Surrey police. And I said, look, I've got this guy chasing me all the time. He's bad-mouthing me. I turned down and reported him to them. And the local police said, oh, we'll ring him up and have a word with him. I went, I'm wasting my time. You're wasting the government's time, which is my time and my money. Do something about the bloody bloke.
He's going too far.
He's gone too far.
Too far.
And the copper turned around and well, we can't do anything with the evidence. I said, I've got reams of evidence here. It's been printed off from Facebook.
That's fine.
And he turned around and we can't really do anything, In other words, it was too much hard work for them. If your car tax was out, mate, they'd bloody have you as quick as lightning. You've got no insurance, they'll crush your car.
That's unbelievable. You've got all that mounting evidence, piles and piles of it, nothing could be done.
I know. And I can't do nothing. No. And he's been trolling me, telling the other farmers, oh, don't let that Braintree metal detecting club on your club.
I mean, how long ago is this now then, Brian?
3-4 years. He's still doing it.
He's still doing it?
Yep. I put on a dig on a little place called the Nursery. And it was an old nursery with some massive fields at the back of it. So I talked to the owners, two nice guys, live on the property. And they said, yeah. I said, well, I'll treat you well, blah, blah, blah. So we put a couple of digs on there. According to him, it was his stepfather that rents the land, and how we shouldn't have been allowed on there because he rents the land. I sent a message back. If your stepfather's that worried, I'll rent the land.
Oh, no.
One bloke said, we've got to dig on one day. I'll tell you, it should make you laugh. It made me laugh at the time. There we are, put the dig on, sitting on it. Summertime, it was hot. Cool, it was hot. We stopped, we were digging beside the main road, which is the main road between, not Colchester, Chelmsford and Braintree. And this car comes rushing into the field, nearly takes his suspension off. This bloke comes rolling round our gazebo we got up. He's got the barbecue on and all the rest of it, tea brewing. And he turns around and he says, you lot are destroying my heritage. I went, what? What do you mean I'm destroying you? I don't even know you, pal. Ain't the point. You're thieving from us. And I went, I'll tell you what you want to do, mate. Get out of that car and I'll show you who'll thieve. And he turned around and he went, I ain't getting out of the car now. I said, you're all mouth and no bloody trousers, aren't you? I said, you're one of these keyboard warriors. I said, I've had enough of them. So now I fight back. And I said, you don't like it when I fight back. If you don't get off this field, there's a bloody great tractor standing there. I'll start it up and I'll run your bleeding car over. You wouldn't do that. I walked over and started the tractor up. He was straight out the gateway and gone. Never seen him since.
That's weird, isn't it?
Nutters, mate. I tell you what, they're
nutters.
On the internet, Facebook is unbelievable. There's all sorts on there, mate.
I do know that one, Brian.
You do know from your own.
I do know that one, Brian. But what you're experiencing is wacky. It's weird.
I had to hire security men to come on a dig. All certificated with their arm badges and all the rest of it. What you see them outside of nightclubs.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I had 3 of them on one dig for me. £50 a day each. Right. All because there's people threatening to come down and beat me up because I was metal
Oh,
detected.
dear me, Brian. And all you're doing is playing on
That's right.
digs for people to enjoy a day out. The farmer's getting paid. Everybody's having a good
That's it.
time.
That's
And
right.
you've done all the hard work. Oh, I don't
Well, I
know,
mean,
Brian. Don't ask me.
we're the only. I've been told one of the only people where some of the ladies will come on the digs for my digs because they know number one they'll be looked after. They know it's a ladies' toilet if they need it. They know that if we can help them in identifying everything, because I take a load of books from me all the time, they know very well that they won't be messed about or interfered with. You know.
Well, I'm really sorry that all this has happened to you. I know. Probably there's a lot more than that, but let's change the tune and just get an idea of what you've been finding now, Brian.
Oh well, I told you, didn't I? I showed you.
Yeah, you found. Yeah, go on.
I've been cleaning Roman coins today.
Okay. Tell them that.
You can see them in there. I use my own special solution, which is distilled water with a pinch, and I'm talking about a pinch of salt in it. And I tell you what,
Wow.
works wonders. Look how
That's
green
brilliant.
that water is with them coins in.
Yeah. All the blood's coming off there, isn't it?
Coins. But detecting wise, I've been on a hammy drought. I must admit, I've been on a hammy drought. I haven't had one for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I'll put so many digs on. I mean, we've had on my digs, I've had gold rings up, gold coins up. We had a beautiful little quarter stater, dug up on one of my digs only the other week. A lovely little thing. It looked like it had just been made.
Wow.
And it had been in the ground for 3,000 years.
I know. It's amazing, isn't it?
Unbelievable. But another coin you'll pull, like some of the ones I showed you earlier on, they're so crusty and they're eaten away by the chemicals and the acids and all the rest of it. Oh, don't get me wrong, about Roman, I've got one hell of a Roman site. It's a Roman villa situated on top of a small hill, just on the edge of a village locally. And not many, well, a couple of my friends know about it, so I took them down there. But we've had loads of hammered the Roman coins up there. Some of the smaller ones are a bit, grotty. What are called grots, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. That's the name for them.
They turn around and they've been eaten away. But you get silver denarii off there like they've just been minted.
Wow.
And I've been there. I've got some digs planned for harvest time. Breadbasket of England, haven't we?
Yeah.
More wheat grown here than anywhere. Wheat, barley, and what have you, and hay.
Yeah, we supply the milk, and you supply the wheat.
That's it. We supply the wheat. So at least
we got the cows and the sheep, and you've got the harvest.
You got a Sunday roast.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think you're probably spending quite a lot of time organising these digs, and that's probably why you're not finding any hammered there, matey.
Well, trouble is though, John, it's how the scenario works. I've worked here to a fine art now. I never ever ring a farmer up. I never email one unless I know him well. I go around, knock on the door, and speak face to face to him.
Yeah,
and a lot of them prefer that than being pestered by some idiot on a phone. That's all you are when you're on the phone.
Absolutely.
When you turn around and say to them, "I'll give you hundreds of pounds for one day on your field," their ears prick up like that. They become Mr. Spock.
Yeah, I think.
When they think, "Hello," as I said to one farmer, I said to him, I told you the story, didn't I? I said to him, "Let me pay for your next holiday." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Let me dig your land, and I will give you enough money to take your wife off to Norfolk for 2 weeks. All expenses paid." And he went, "You're joking." I went, "No, I'm not." I said, "Well, my business is well in the black in the bank." I said, "If we want £1,000, we can put a hand on £1,000 straight away. No messing about." And I said, "I'm interested in this field, that field, and that field." And this bloke, he farms 20,000 acres. He's a big, you've heard of Albert Bartlett, the potato people? This man's named Bartlett. And I tell you what, he's no bloody fool. He grows potatoes.
Yes.
And he sets fields down to grass. Because he lifts the grass and sells it as turf.
I see.
So I said to him, I can't mention his name, but he turned around and he said, well, come harvest time, come back and see me, Brian. I said, of course I will. I should be round. I'm always around the area anyway. I said, you've got, farms around here that I deal with. And I mentioned several other farmers, and he, oh, yeah, you're dealing with him. How you getting on with him? So I get on fine with him. Good as gold. He lets us go. I give him money. He sits at home and gets warm. We get cold metal detecting. And, once you get into the farmers, well, you see, my family used to be farmers years ago. And I've still got farming contacts.
Oh, I see.
Back where I come from.
And
plus, a lot of the farmers around here, I used to shoot their pigeons for them.
Oh, I see.
I've stood alongside the trainers from Newmarket Racecourse, stables, on the line, shooting pheasants with them. I've turned around and took their children out and taught them how to shoot. I've turned around and I've done a lot of things for them. So, I got one girl that I'm so proud of her, bugger. When she first came with me, she couldn't hit the side of a barn. She stood inside it. She's a bloody crack shot now. She misses nothing at all. I took her up clay pigeon shooting. I said 25 birds. They're coming out at all angles. I said, kill them when you see them. She says, okay, Brian. 20 bore over and under. Bang, bang. Both dead. All the way. She cleared the lot.
Wow.
And I said, you don't need me anymore. That's it. That's your lot, girl. You're
done. Yeah, your training's over with.
And her dad, miserable bugger. I tell you what, farmer. He's a multi-millionaire. He drives he had a McLaren. You've heard of McLaren?
I have, yes.
He had one of them. He's had Porsches, you name it. He goes off fishing for a month in Scotland when the salmon runs are on. And he's a big shooting man as well. He used to be, not so much now. But do you think he even said thank you? Did he, buggery? But that's the way they are. But once you get to know them, you get to know them. And you call back, and one of them used to say to me, not you again. And I say, yeah, I was passing by, I thought I'd drop in and see if you're still alive. And he turned around and he went to me, you've got a bloody cheat, Brian. I said, yeah, so are you. The amount of bloody money I've spent on your farm. I said, you wouldn't even let me metal detect. He said, go on, you can have that field over there then. 100 acres in one hit.
You see, you probably got the way to talk to some of these because that's what they need talking to sometimes, don't you?
Well, people that know me know. I mean, like Julian Evanart, great friend of mine, his girlfriend or lady he lives with. She and my wife are great friends. And I'll tell you what, to be truthful, as you see me, that's what you get. Some people don't like it, some people do. I'm grey-haired now. I'm getting grey-haired, as you can see. In fact, I'm different haircut. So
So am I, mate.
Back to the bloody skin. But it's a case of that if you don't interact with these people. I deal with farmers that talk so posh, it's unbelievable.
Right.
Oh, hello, Brian. Have you done any shooting lately? And what guns have you got now? You still got the firearms license? Yeah, I've still got my AK-47.
My Cal 50.
And Cal 50 sitting out the window.
Yeah, but, it's in my car now. Can I try it out?
Yeah, let me just whip it round. It's on the back of the car.
I'll shoot a few cars for you if you want.
Good, I'll tell you what, man. A lot of them are nice guys. You got one or two. I mean, I got caught by one farmer big time. He said to me, I said to him, I said, look, I want to put a dig on your land. I said, but I want a decent sized field. This was just after Christmas or just before the COVID came in. And he said, this field at the back is a big, and he says, you can have that. I said, okay, that'll do. I did all the advertising and everything like that. It was all over everywhere on Facebook. It was on other social media platforms as well. Because if I advertise a dig, I advertise them everywhere. Don't do much up your way up north there because you're a long way away from us.
Yeah.
London area.
It's a long way.
London area, this area, Kent, Essex, Cambridgeshire, that sort of area, the southeast, I do a lot of advertising around here, so everybody knows me. So he said to me, anyway, the day of the dig comes, we turn around and put all the signposts up, so we're car after car keeps turning up. 155 people turned up.
Oh.
So I'm thinking, I haven't even looked at this field. So I turned around and sent them off. Within about 20 minutes, 2 of them come back. What sort of thing are you pulling? I went, what? It's that bloody field's the size of a postage stamp. I went, you've got to be kidding me. I said, I was promised it was a big field by the farmer. And as luck would have it, he come walking down the road. I said, here, what the hell are you trying on with me? I said, I've got 150 men here with metal detectors, and the size of that field is the size of a postage stamp. Oh, he said, let them go on these paddocks here. I said, that ain't no good. I said, I want a big field. I told you that. I said, you're about to draw several hundreds of pounds. I said, I'm about to get lynched. And I'll keep to my agreement, but you'll get no more from me. I took them to another farm that I rented up the road. I opened the gates today. Oh, boy, there's 400 acres. Fill your boots. They went on there. And it's the only thing that saved me.
Wow.
And this cheeky bloody farmer stood there at the end of the day with his hand out. Where's mine?
Let's tell you
what.
And
I gave him such a mouthful. And he's one of them with the plum in his mouth, but he thought he's going to pull the wool over my eyes. But luckily, I got an ace card with another farm in it up my fucking sleeve.
Yeah, well, lucky there, mate, eh?
You know. But
you pulled yourself out of that.
Well, you got to, haven't you?
Yeah.
No, you're saying yes to one and no to another, and then not turning around and, you know, doing what you should do anyway.
Yeah.
But as I say to everybody, when you're metal detecting, nobody is your friend.
No.
We've had cases where hoards have been found and 2 friends have fell out over who found it.
Yeah.
Court cases, people have gone taking each other to court. All you're doing is lying in the pockets of the solicitors, who are crooks anyway. So they wouldn't be in their job, would they? Not just that, but they turn around and they, you know, when you're metal detecting, you can have a best friend one minute and he's your enemy the next.
Yeah.
Because you found a silver coin.
Yeah. All right, Keith, you all right, mate?
Cheers, Keith.
He's called History Man. He does a lot of World War I and World War II stuff. Does Keith? I've had him on interview with Keith. It's really interesting. Anyway, he's just joined us, so I just say hello to him. Yeah, that's Keith. Yeah, he's the History Man. I've had him on interview already. It's a very, very interesting chap. He is. He really is.
If Keith is doing World War II stuff, we do a lot of World War II stuff in Essex. In fact, Julian Ehrenhardt is a great digger of World War II aircraft.
I'll tell you what, he's up your street because he has World War II vehicles and tanks and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Does Keith? So you have to get in touch with him because he's into railway stuff. Yeah. And also, like I said, he's got some of the vehicles and tents of World War II stuff. Actually,
where does he live? Is he living up your way? Because there's a guy.
No, I think he's down your end.
Oh, I know him. Yeah, I've heard of him.
I'll point him out to you later. It's been brilliant, pal. We've had a right good natter. And just to obviously, you know, help people, it ain't all smooth everywhere you go, and a lot of hard work involved in setting up these groups.
Well, the other thing before we go, John, I'd like to say is that with my clubs on all my digs, children are free. Women, if they're just carrying the spade for their husband or boyfriend, they're free. You know, we try to make it, if somebody's disabled and wants to come, we allow them in free. We try our best to help the local communities as well. We've done a lot for the local schools. In fact, I've got a headmaster's award here. I'll show you. Sent from the headmaster of one school.
Yeah, bring it back. That's it. Back to you. Perfect. That's it. Yeah, lovely, mate. Oh, that's nice.
Respect.
You put a lot of work into this. You can tell, can't you, Brian?
Well, we put a lot. Sorry,
just mention your group again before we go.
Braintree Metal Detecting Club. You can get us online at www.braintreemdc.co.uk, which you'll see the finds we make. You'll read about the club, how I started it up. You'll read about the members we've got. Support Treasure Hunting magazine because we buy so many books and bits and pieces for their raffles and club meetings off of them. you know, we use them all the time.
You do
And of
various
course,
charities.
charity as well. We do a lot for. We try to do as much as we can for Essex Air Ambulance. I'm trying to put a 3-day dig together in Norfolk for Norfolk Air Ambulance, which will be a stay-over job. You can bring your camper van, your tent, or whatever you've got. You can stay on site. There's a toilet block there. There's washing up facilities for washing your Crocs. There's everything there. I'm trying to organise that for 3 days in about September, October time. But that's up at a place called Weybourne, which is halfway between Sheringham and Holt. Up your Cromer way, up on the Cromer coast.
Oh, interesting. Historical, I think, that area as well, isn't
it? We know of 2 fighter aircraft, one German, one English, that was shot down on the farm, and they've been and took the engines out and all the rest of it, but left the rest of it. But as far as metal detection on it, nobody's really metal detected it.
So it doesn't have to be just World War II, but there's that as well as other things, I'm almost sure.
As well as other things, you know, we try just up the road from there at Weybourne, the other side of Weybourne, is the Muckleborough collection, which is a collection of tanks, anti-aircraft guns, you name it. They've got Shermans, they've got Churchill flamethrower tanks there, they've got all sorts. And with the Essex Magnet Fishing Group as well, he says.
Yes.
I'm in the Essex Magnet Fishing Group, he says.
Yeah, I've got to get him again for another update because he's absolutely super for history in that period.
Don't forget www.braintree.mdc.co.uk. Then you can read all about it.
Thanks, Bri, mate. It's been a pleasure, interesting, and we're going to catch you on another update and another time. Probably when you start your digs, we'll get some more updates.
Okay, mate, no problem. See you later.
Take care for now, pal. See you later.